back. So today in this video, I'm going to take a coin, as you guys can see, one in front of me, and I'm going to talk about a very important psychological aspect that a lot of you unfortunately get wrong. You really don't get it right, and it's important that once you master that aspect, you will actually feel so much better. You'll be able to make so much more, and ultimately it's just going to keep you in the trenches for longer. So there you have it. Okay, we're looking at a coin. If you would have managed to get in this early, right, you see the first candle here, second, third, you see how it was growing. Okay, now many of you probably would have gotten in at the second candle, right? The really good traders, snipers, and so on. So you get in over here, and I'm gonna show you a line. Okay, so that's, I would say, is around 8.5k market cap. Okay, you get in here. A lot of people, unfortunately, when they get in, they have a number in their head. They're like, you know, I'm a 100k market cap type of guy. I'm a guy who you know, stays until 100k, or if not 1 million market cap, which in my opinion is a really bad strategy. If you are trading in the trenches on Axiom, knowing that things here are getting scammed or rugged, they drop, they get drained, like there's so much going on, but it doesn't mean that just because all this stuff is happening, you can't take advantage of it and actually make money. Absolutely you can, but you cannot be the exit liquidity. You always have to be quick and one of the first ones. So you get in at this level, okay, at around, let's say, 8.5k market cap or 8k. You want, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to double your money, okay, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is actually a very good strategy, you know, walking out with a 2x or at least 3x, 4x. But you don't want to be sitting here and waiting until that magical level hits. So you want to take out your, you know, initial investment, the money that you've made, slowly. You don't have to take everything out. So let's say, for example, you know, when it reaches, I mean, it all depends on you, whatever you want to do. Like, let's say, for example, 12k. Market cap, okay? So you take out 20%, okay? So that, ladies and gentlemen, is not a bad idea. Then you take out, you know, another 20% at 15k. So you take out here. And that way, at least you have something. I know, obviously, if you had never taken it out, you could have made way more money and so on. But you just never know where it's going to stop, where it's going to start dipping, because there's always going to be that peak point. And you want to make sure that you know, take out, not only do you take out your initial investment, but also you start taking out some profits. And some of you are like, well, I'm going to take out my initial investment and then just leave it there and see how far it goes. On Axiom, right, the way we're trading here, with these coins going on so quickly, with most of these coins, you know, genuinely just being launched by devs that are here just to pump it and then dump it. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you can't, like, take advantage of it. And also, a lot of these coins are just based on like one tweet or something like that, or some quick hot narrative that's just happening today. So the way you would actually go about this situation is actually by taking out small amounts of your bag, okay, percentages. You go 20%, 20%, 20%, you know, until you've taken everything out. And the good thing about this is that you know that if this coin just keeps on going and just keeps on going up and up and up, you at least have something in there to be able to make these high X's, high multipliers. Because some of you are so eager to make your 10x or 20x, which is possible, but you're just going to make it with a smaller bag, which is absolutely fine. You either make, you know, less or actually lose everything. I would rather, you know, make less, but I'm happy because I walk away with some profit than actually lose everything. So I'm not just gonna sit there and see my coin absolutely get destroyed and then me trying to, you know, get out of it when I see these massive red candles, because most of these coins are getting bundled. You know, the devs are becoming better. They understand the system. They know how it works. And you don't want to be sitting there, you know, getting absolutely wrecked and seeing what you could have done. The opportunity cost, the absolute golden peak, which you could have actually taken it out. So be happy with not, with achieving smaller amounts, but at least you are taking something out. And as you get better at it, you can just start putting in more money. If that makes any sense. Like, if I went into this coin with just 1 Solana, in the future I could, go in with 2 Solana, or 3 Solana, 4 Solana. And that way you'll start making money. And you'll always profit because you'll find these very good narratives, very good coins. And you'll learn how to take out, the percentages out. 20%, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, of whatever you're holding in there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make good money. You start really understanding that, greediness isn't going to lead you anywhere. And sometimes you can get lucky. But believe me, a lot of people, they never are able to, guess the exact top and be able to get in at the exact bottom, right? So imagine if I was able to get in at like, I don't know, 3K and see it drive me all the way up to like 22K. Ladies and gentlemen, like, I'm really sorry to say, but you can never time the market that well. But what you can do is be smart by taking out, certain amounts of money. And on top of it, the beautiful thing is that nowadays you can use bots. You can set the system to be able to withdraw a certain amount at a certain market cap, certain price, which I'm actually going to make another video about this. But I do suggest you join my group. You sign up under my Axiom link so you can get your 10% cash back, because I'm going to be discussing everything. I want you guys to be part of this journey. I want the best for you. I want you to actually learn. Knowledge is everything here. Nobody is going to be able to, give you that one tip that's going to make you millions and millions. But what you can do is become very intelligent, understanding, psychologically prepared to, go through all this process over and over again and understand how it works. And that's where you start accumulating your income and it starts growing. And you just become a better trader, because at the end of the day, everything is PvP here, player v player. If you are better than others, you have the edge. Someone is going to win, someone's going to lose. It's the capitalist world here. Okay? No communism. Not all equal here. Someone wins, others lose. Guess who wins? The one with more knowledge. The one with better abilities. So start learning how to take out your bag bit by bit. It's up to you how you want to do it. You can take out 20 or 30%. Then you can take out another, 30%. Learn how you would feel comfortable with it. What would work out for you. But don't be the guy that sits there and waits for the coin to pump. And then when it starts going down, you still are like, oh, hopefully. You're like, no, but it's going to reverse. It's going to reverse. And then you see a massive red candle and then it's done. It's over. And all the profit that you could have taken out is pretty much done. It's gone. So be fair. Be humble. That's the right word. Be humble. You want to make money? Well, you're going to have to be humble. And throughout time, when you start learning that skill, it is going to really, help you create that, amount of money, which will make you feel more comfortable with, actually initially investing. So now if you're, like I said earlier on in the video, like if you go in with 1 Solana, perhaps, as you start making more money, as you become better at the process, you feel more confident going in with more. But your strategy should never be like for you to just hold until the end, because you're just going to get wrecked, destroyed. And believe me, the best traders, they have so many side wallets. They have all their bots set up. They're literally taking out certain levels, percentages, just keeping it as safe as possible. You're minimizing risk. So play it this way, okay? Thank you so much. Appreciate all the support, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace out.